All right. Hey, good morning, good people. All right, man. It is Monday. Y'all know what happens on Mondays, man. If you've been following me, any little time, let's go, man. Get out that bed, turn that thing loose. It is 6:11 here in El Paso, 7:11, 7:12 now in Central Standard Time out there in Dallas, Fort Worth, Tyler, Texas, out there with my family and everybody's at 8:12 on the East Coast and 4:12 in the morning out there in California, man. Hope y'all had a fantastic weekend. Mine was quiet, as my mama would tell me. No news is good news. So yeah, man, let me get this thing a couple, 2, 3, 4 seconds, man. Get some eyes on us. See what we can get into. We are in week 2 of our 8-week series, ladies and gentlemen. Like I told you last week, just gonna change directions for a little bit, man. Still gonna give you some of my thoughts, but I want to share with y'all some information and some plans that were shared with me that have helped me get myself heading in the right direction financially. And I will say this because somebody hit me up in my inbox last week, you know. And I tell y'all this all the time, you got to be careful about who you entertain and who you give energy to. All right. But I will tell you this. All right. Whether you follow the financial plan I'm sharing, or you follow the financial plan that somebody else is sharing, just follow a plan, man. Do something to get yourself in a positive direction and something that's going to help you and your family going down the road. Okay. So just want to put that out there. Like I told y'all when I did this last week, what I do ain't for everybody, man. And I understand that everybody gonna have their own things, but just please, please, please don't miss the message because you don't like the messenger or because the messenger don't look like what you think they should. Okay. So continuing, man, like I said, the next 8 weeks we're gonna be talking about getting financially strong. Okay. I like to talk about finances just simply because I growing up, you know what I'm saying? And I always say this, and if you're listening to me, please, man, I'm never, ever, ever, ever gonna knock my family. My family was absolutely amazing to me. They taught me the things that they knew. But I talk about finances because I know I didn't know them, and I don't know how many people out there may not know as well. So as opposed to sitting here hoarding information, every time I learn something, specifically in this particular area, for the next 8 weeks, man, I'm gonna share it with you. Okay. Now, last week we talked about acquiring as much cash flow as possible. Okay, because you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, cash flow is a very important thing. Okay. If you don't have a positive cash flow coming in, you're always going to find yourself at a disadvantage. Okay. That's what we talked about last week. Brief recap. Boom. There it is. Now, this week, okay, like I said, and I'm going to read these to you exactly how they were given to me. Okay. I'm not going to try to cut these up or minimize them or anything like that. I'm going to give them to you straight how they were given to me. And then I will, explain a little bit to just kind of give you a mental picture of what it looks like. Okay. So step two says to set up a beginner's emergency fund. All right. You will need $3,000 in the fund to potentially get a higher rate of return for your emergency fund dollars. You may want to put your money into a money marketing account or into a municipal bond, instead of in a regular checking and savings account. Also, you should keep your emergency fund separate from your other monies. Okay. Uh, if necessary, make periodic deposits until you get to the $3,000, then stop. Okay. Now, let's chew on that for a little bit. All right. First things first, in there, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. Anytime you start trying to set up uh, financial type things, okay, you have to be very careful. All right. Because here's the thing, when you allow your monies to mix, you can't keep proper track of those monies, if that makes sense. All right. That's why it says here that if you're going to start doing this, you need to put it into an account that's separate from your everyday money. Okay. Because the first thing that'll happen, and God forbid, when you run into a little problem or a snafu, as we like to call them, all right, first thing you do is you'll go and you'll grab that money and then you'll use it. Okay. Now, There's nothing wrong with that, but you got to understand this. If you take from that emergency fund, you got to put back into that emergency fund, okay? Because that's what it's for, an emergency. Now, somebody may be sitting out here asking, well, Willie, why do you say do $3,000? All right. Reason why we say that is $3,000 will take care of most emergencies that you may find yourself into. Okay. You may need to get you a new washer or a new dryer. You may need to get something fixed in the house. You know what I mean? Very rarely are those types of things going to exceed that $3,000 emergency fund you have, the mini emergency fund. Okay. Stay with me. Like I said, it's going to be some good stuff the next 8 weeks. Okay. And when you start talking about putting it into somewhere other than a bank, a regular checking and savings account, okay? This is not to knock banks, ladies and gentlemen, because you need to have some money in the bank. But when you start looking at it, okay, I just really want one of y'all or somebody, anybody watching this, I want you to take a look at your checking and your savings account, okay? If you have money in those, I want you to look at your interest, your money gained from that specific account. Okay, when you get your year-end statements or whatnot, it'll tell you, hey, you gain X amount of interest, dividend, whatever the case may be. Okay. Now, the thing about it is what you're making off of your checkings and your savings account is minuscule compared to what you can make if you put that into a money marketing account or into a municipal bond. Okay. Those things are going to bring you a higher interest rate and you'll be able to see your money grow a tad bit faster. Okay. Now, like I say again, good rule of thumb, $3,000. Okay, $3,000 will give you a little bit of breathing room. Okay, now I know you might be out there saying, "Well, Willie, I don't got $3,000 right now." Okay, that's why I just said I read it to you. If you don't have it right now, make deposits until you get there. Okay, got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, until we as people learn how to control our money, we will always be controlled by our money. Okay. And that is the biggest takeaway from today's second step into becoming financially fit. Okay. You got to learn how to control your money, man. You have to. It's absolutely critical. All right. And again, these are just things that I've been learning over the course of time that, I wish someone had have told me or taken time out to explain to me. All right. But so I've been on here, let's see, say 8 minutes. That's long enough for this specific conversation. All right. Like I said, the goal is to drop knowledge on you, okay, for the next 8 weeks. Hopefully you will hear something that will be like, man, I need to get that done. And then you can reach out to me, man. We can have a conversation. All right. Like I said, I'm all about helping. Okay. I have learned some things in regards to this specific area. So now I feel like it's my calling or my task to pay it forward. Okay. Because somebody out there is like I was before I learned what I learned before I learned what I'm learning right now. And it's only fair for me to go back out and share it with people. All right. So I do see I got some eyes on me. Let me slide off in the comments right quick. That's my man Jesse, my neighbor. What's up, neighbor? Hey man, hey, let's go, man. I done already been working, been out here doing my exercise and everything. Let's go, man. Hey, how many cups of coffee you done had this morning? Hey man, good to see you. Thanks for hopping on. Then of course y'all know I got my baby sister, my biggest cheerleader. Good morning to you, baby sister. I love you. Appreciate your support. Keep on doing your thing. Keep knocking it out the park. All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna leave you with this here call to action. All right. You have to set up your emergency fund. Okay. If you have one already, hey, fantastic. Great job. If you don't have one, you need to start setting one up. Okay. Because speaking from personal experience, the worst thing in the world is to have an emergency and have no way to take care of it from a financial standpoint. Okay. And it's even tougher when you have to ask somebody and then they tell you that they ain't got it. Okay. I said this last week. I'm going to say it again today, and y'all going to hear me say it for the next 8 weeks. You must become a willing participant in your own rescue. You cannot continue to kick away the lifelines that are being thrown. You can't try to drown those who are coming to rescue you. You have to be willing to be a willing participant and to follow instructions. All right. And again, if what I'm doing ain't for you, this ain't for you. Okay, just keep it moving. You ain't got to come on here with your snazzy comments, sliding in my inbox. It's all good. I'm gonna entertain you because you might, you might just be as my mentor say, you may be hurting and you looking for somebody to help you. I'll entertain you for a second, but what I'm not gonna do is get into foolishness with you. Okay, but hey man, call to action, man. Get your $3,000 into your emergency fund. Okay, if you don't have it all right now, that's okay. Everybody got to start from somewhere. Start making deposits until you get to it. And then we can move forward. All right. Again, if I say something that spark you, man, something that move you, hit your boy up, man. I'm all about some meaningful conversation. Okay. But what I ain't gonna do, again, is I ain't gonna go back and forth with you about no foolishness. You can do that by yourself. You don't need no help with that. All right. So if you see this, man, you catch it later, drop hashtag replay. Okay. If you feel like somebody else need to hear this, please, by all means, share it. But remember, you got to take care of you and yours before you help somebody do theirs. All right. I'll take care, man. I'll catch y'all on the flip side.